What are the rights and obligations for developers? If, say, for example, a developer sold a property that was 1,000 square feet as per the floor plan created by the developer. However, when the developer delivered the project and the project was completed, they surveyed the site, the unit, and they realized that the size was lesser or was higher than the actual size stated on the SPA. And what are your rights as well as an investor? When you buy an off-plan property, there are two terms for the property size. So the size stated on your purchase agreement and on the floor plans at the time of buying, this is what we call as sold size. However, once the project is completed and the property is ready, whether it's a villa or it's an apartment, the developer has to carry on an on-site survey to know the exact size of the actual property and then report that size to RERA. And this is what we call as built size. Now, Dubai Land Department has created a law and regulation to govern the cases where there's a difference between the as sold and the as built size. However, if the size of the property at the time of handover was lesser than the size promised by the developer at the time of buying, then you have two scenarios. If that reduction in size was up to 5%, so 5% or less from what was promised, then the developer has no obligation to make any payments or any refunds to the investors. However, if the size reduction was more than 5%, then the developer has to refund to the investor on pro rata basis what's equivalent to the size reduction beyond the 5%. So let me give you an example. If you bought a property that was 1,000 square feet when it was off plan as per your sales and purchase agreement, and at the time of handover you realize that on your Okud or on your title deed the size is 950 square feet. In this case, you have no right to claim any amount from the developer, and the developer does not have to refund anything to you against the 5% that you lost. But if the size reduction was beyond 5% or more than 5%, so let's say the developer delivered to you 900 square feet, then the developer has to compensate you against the 50 square feet beyond the 950. Because up to 950, the developer has an allowance to make no refund against 5% lesser than what was promised. But anything beyond or anything more than 5%, the developer has to pay you back on pro rata basis. So if you bought the property for 1 million and it was 1,000 square feet, that means the price per square foot is 1,000. And if there is 50 square feet, that means the developer has to refund to you 50,000 dirhams.